What's good, fams? This is not going to be long at all. I hope you're enjoying your day. Hope your day's going well. But I just want to say something really quick, and I may touch on it on live in a little bit. There's a young gentleman that's beefing with a lot of old schoolers, a young blood, a guy that's really going to war with a lot of old schoolers on social media. I mean, he laying them out, right, with words, right, with facts. He is telling his truth and somewhat the truth, right? Because I agree with a lot of what this young blood is saying. Maybe not everything, but I definitely agree with a lot of it. How are you old schoolers, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65 years old, going to try to argue or check this young fella when you haven't done what you were supposed to do when you was his age or now? A lot of you fail to realize that your priorities are not straight. The one thing he said was when he looks on your page, he see you're trying to do what the young folks are doing. I gotta agree with that. When we was his age, we made the Ice Cube, NWA, Cool G Rap, Rakim, LL Cool J, Michael Jordan, Warren Moon, Randall Cunningham. We made all these actors, Arnold Schwarzenegger, and so on, etc. We made them rich. We went to see their movies, we supported their concerts, we went to their ball games, etc., etc. All these rap artists and all this, and now they're rich. 20, 30, 40, 50 years later, these people are rich because of us, because of our generation. Meanwhile, in the course of making them rich, we wasn't doing the education ourselves to sustain wealth. That's why a lot of you now, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, and then somewhat 70 years old, that's why you have to rely on Social Security, SSI, disability. That's why a lot of you, and I'm not trying to hate you now. I'm telling the truth now. I'm telling you this because, you know, I understand where our generation came from, right? But a lot of you don't know what it is to make $70,000 a year. $60,000 a year, $50,000 a year, and in some cases 40. A lot of you are settling, right? Due to the fact that you don't have a college degree, you don't have a trade, you never started a business. A lot of us have felony backgrounds. We can't argue with these young kids today. We can't tell these young kids what to do today. And I'm not talking about the knuckleheads. I'm not talking about the ones that's being a menace to their society. I'm not talking about the violent ones or disrespecting their parents. I'm talking about the young folks that can wake up, turn on their phone, turn on their laptop, right? And make 10 grand a month. You cannot tell these young folks what to do because they understand their worth. They know what they're worth. And you are trying to live your life through these young folks today. You cannot, listen, these young folks, they're advanced. All this social media, day trading, cryptocurrency, all the influencing and content creation, a lot of this belongs to the young folk, man. You cannot debate with how they see the world when your world is average or below average for that matter. I'm just telling the truth. I see a lot of the ladies, that just don't go for the fellas, a lot of the ladies, that goes for you too. 45, 50, 55, 60 years old, you're trying to come at how these young girls are dressing. That's their business. How you going to come at this young girl? And I understand, trust me, you know what the world is like. I'm not disputing that. But you wonder why they so disrespectful towards you? It's because they wake up and they're finding a way to provide not only for themselves or their children if they have any, but their parents. They're setting up wealth by showing them thick legs and that well-developed body. They're setting up wealth. I'm not condoning it, but I'm sure as hell not going degrade them because they're doing what they need to do. These young folks are supporting one another. And that's my opinion on it. How are we going to get upset at these young folks when they're doing what they need to do, what they want to do, however you want to word it, and we're still living in an old school fantasy land? Man, focus on yourself first. Now, if these young folks come to you and they ask you for a piece of wisdom and knowledge, because I get it, young folks, I get it, you doing your thing, but there will come a time when wisdom, right, and knowledge of those before you will be needed. So you have to know somebody, right, that will experience the problems you're experiencing. They experience, and they have the experience to pull through it, if that makes sense. But that's just my opinion, y'all. You know, old schoolers, you're only getting older, and you don't have a portfolio, you don't have a business, you don't have education, you don't have a trade, you don't have $10,000-$15,000 in the account, you don't have a home, you live in pillar to post, you have a felony record, you have diabetes, heart disease, blessed be the name of the Lord, and healings. A lot of you are dealing with cancer, and yet you're still trying to live a life that you have outgrown. All right, y'all, that's just my opinion. I'll talk with y'all in a little bit, man.